Jubilation coming in from Eddie Kenzone, playing for you right here on 88.2 Sanyo FM. My name is Crystal, and I'd like to welcome my guest on Celeb Select, Alhaj Nasser Intege Sebagala. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for taking the time.
Welcome for everybody, the listeners. I'm glad to be here.
It's nice to see you looking so well, can I say?
Yeah.
You're looking well.
Let me tell you one thing. I've got advantage. I don't smoke, I don't drink.
Okay.
This is, could I give all the ideas. People who want to become well on this age.
Yes.
You should avoid such a kind of things.
Yes.
And you do a lot of exercise.
You do a lot of exercise?
Yes.
What do you work out at home?
Work out and walk. Just is moving around. And it doesn't be a long time, long hours. If you do for 30 minutes, is enough for you a day. And you make sure that you can do that for 3 days. Is enough also for a week. So that is, don't push yourself too much, but you'll achieve what you want. Yes, and try to eat well.
Eat well as well.
Yes. People, they say that you could not eat so this and this and that. No, the idea, eat what you want, but look after yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
So we can still eat good food and enjoy it.
Yes, please. Yeah. People, they say they stop, suffering for the food and this and no. Take what you think is this is what you want, but trying to do a lot of exercise.
Okay.
And you achieve what you want.
Okay.
Yes.
Speaking of your health, you said that you just underwent surgery.
Surgery of my eyes.
Yes, because last year you were losing your sight, was
yes,
it?
I've been trying to lose my sight, but I get an expert, and they did what they can. You know, when you reach on this age, so everything may be repaired. Yeah, but I'm improving now. I'm trying to go maybe to Germany to another expert, transplanting, so that is you can have a very good view.
Oh.
It's a bit of expensive.
It must be expensive.
Yeah, but is nowadays the new technology, people they cannot be suffer.
Yes. Can make almost anything possible.
Yeah, precisely.
Well, I'm very happy that you're feeling much better.
Thank you.
And definitely looking well.
Thank
One
you.
of the things about you is you're always smart. Today you're relaxed because I can see Saturday you're relaxed, but you've always talked about your love for suits.
Yes.
And expensive suits. Yes.
You see, is as I mentioned to you, that is I don't drink, I don't smoke. I put almost all my money on to look good and to see that you got a very good shirt, maybe a very good suit, and then very nice perfume.
Yes, you smell good too.
You smell good too. So, and we Muslims have a problem. Well, I could not say a problem, but our system is whether you are rich or poor. We bury only 2 clothes. So that is, we came nothing, we go with nothing. So that is, you try to do that is, you put yourself when you're still alive, what you are thinking, I think it could be good for you. And also public, they look at you, say that is, yes, oh, this is so and so. Yes.
So it's important when people see you that you look good.
Precisely. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When you talked about when we die, we leave everything behind.
Yes.
There's some people who don't spend their money.
Yes.
Keep it. Are you that kind of person, or you believe you should spend?
I had a chance. I was born on the ordinary family, but I get money when I was very young. Because I started working with my father when I was 7.5 years.
7 years old?
7.5. That
What?
was, I used to come from my family, my home at Kisasi. We walked with my father. We ride the bicycle up to Nakasero. So we had a store at Nakasero Market. So because whatever I've been, whether in the morning, I pass through him, I help him.
Okay.
Then after about 7:30, he sent me to school to Huli. On weekend, I work with him. The public holidays, I do the same. So I started getting money and control money when I was a very young age. So I remember very well, I get my 50 cents when I was 8 years. This is my first money, which I
50
get.
cents?
Yeah, I just respect that money. I've been getting a lot of money in different perspective, but I never forget how did I manage to get that 50 cents. Yes. I get a small, vegetables. I vendor it from Kampala. So at that time was a lot of Asians. Then they give me 50 cents. So I was very happy. Since then, I've been trying to see that is I keep that state.
Okay.
Yes.
So when did you start your own business? When was that?
Being that is I've been on the market, I use work with my father, but at the same time I do my own things.
Okay, at the same time.
In small way, not in a big way, but in small way.
Okay.
Because I remember very well, every time when I go to school in the morning, I go with about a shillings. This was a lot of money at that time. Yeah, so, but I just work for it. So during the Saturday, as today, we used to have a lot of European and Asian and those high classes. I help them, I escort them. So they give me a shilling, so maybe 2 shillings. This is a lot of money. Yes, yeah. Then eventually, after my school, we were the first founders of Dairy Corporation. I think I was about 19 years at that time. I bought my first car when I was 20, brand new car. I built my first house when I was 22, which was in Mengo.
Whoa.
So, but was the real money? It was not this kind of people nowadays, they get money in different perspective. But that time you need to work hard.
You had to work hard.
Yes. And then eventually, you remember, I worked with the Dairy Corporation. Then during that time, I think it was 1970, Obote's government was being overthrown. And then Amin came to the power.
Yes.
So he came with the idea of the empowerment of the Africans to take over the business. So I was among of those the first people who managed to get the business.
Okay.
Yeah, not by giving, but because I've been have a background
In
business. Then I started my first shop, which called New Fabricano. New Fabricano was the best shop in Uganda, maybe in East Africa, among of those, which was because we have been selling high class clothes, high classes items, high classes shoes. So, which was on Kampala Road, where now it is Cairo Bank.
Okay.
That was the plot 30. So we used to have a very big shop. Eventually, we had a problem again with administrators in Amin's time. Then they took over my shop. I have been in prison for maybe 7 months in Naguru. Eventually, when I left, I went to the exile. So I used to have friends which were buy my clothes in UK. It was Scots.
Yes.
Scots was the jeans. I don't know nowadays. I don't see those kind of yes.
I
see levies, but I don't see Scots.
Okay.
So these people, they invited me. I went in Manchester. They give me a job of delivery.
Okay.
So I was there maybe for 4 months. Then a general manager, who was a good friend, Mr. John, he take me to the dinner. Said that, look, as far as I'm concerned, you cannot be here. Your place, because you are a very active person, you should be in Africa. This way how you can develop yourself.
Oh.
Yes, I get the idea. So I had a friend of mine before Amin took over. These people, Mr. Harry, he wants to start a bank here.
Okay.
But because of circumstances which was on occur at that time, he stopped the idea. So when he stopped it, he took this idea to Nairobi. He started the Kenya Commercial Bank. Oh no, Commercial Bank of Africa.
Okay.
So he had my problem. Then when I rang him, he emphasized, sympathized with me.
Okay.
Then eventually say, what are you doing? I said that now I'm now in UK. So he told me, what do you want? I want to come to see you. So he said can I send you a ticket? I said, no, I've got money. I can move on my own. So I had a chance make a request from my boss, which was in UK, say that I want to go to Nairobi. He gave me permission. With the idea, I said that is yes, because one day we discussed about this. I said that I tried my level best to be in Africa. So I flew to UK to Nairobi. And when I found him was prepared, waiting for me, and he booked from the hotel. because he thought I was very tired. I came on the weekend. He said, that is okay. You have a rest. Monday, you should come and then we discuss. So when I went to Monday, he told me, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? I said, I want to start a business. Which business? I said, I don't know.
Okay.
But I request him, say that give me about a week. I'll come and let you know. So I move around with the friends which have been there, was part of Aori, and I discussed with them various business. They advised me to go on tourism business.
Oh.
So they went to introduce me to Mr. Michael. Michael was the son of judge at that time. He was in Lomuru. He started such a kind of business. He had a company called Concord Tour and Travel Safari.
Okay.
Then we discuss on the length. We agree to become a partner if I can put something on the table. So, and I asked him, what do you think? How much money should I use? And how much, I don't want that time the money, but I need vehicles. We suggested, start with about 20 vehicles. That was a lot of money.
A lot
money.
to start the business with, yes.
Yes. Okay, we discussed with a man called Aori, and because he was was the general manager of CFC. Those are, in Kenya, they have got a different, use the bankers, and at the same time, these who can look of your credit. And we discuss, say that is, I need 20 vehicles. And they make invoice for me. And so...
And that is how you started? They gave you a loan?
No, because at that time was, I need to go back to my my finances again.
Yes.
So after a week, I called my friend, say that now I'm ready. Should I come and talk to you? Say, yes, come. So I went there to Nairobi, on his bank. And I said, this is my pro forma invoice, and this is my partners. He signed me the check straight away. So that's how we started.
Wow.
Then the time, unfortunately, I had my wife, who is the son of Solomon, and unfortunately, we sat together.
Yes.
The time when we left Nairobi, we had more than 90 vehicles at that time.
Wow.
And we had hired the small plane of the 12-seaters. So we have been doing very well.
Wow, for a long time.
Yes, we are the first people, because remember Solomon, you know him, they study in the very good school in Kenton. There's my girls, they have been on the Green Acres, which is a high class, not by accident, but because of hard working. And I bought my house in Nairobi, in Lavington. This is one of the post area. So you can see how we've been working out. Unfortunately, I lost my wife in 1979.
Yes.
By accident. So we found out it's very difficult to remain in Nairobi. I decided to sell my shares, and then I came back to Uganda. Okay. That's why I started the first starters of the Ugandan supermarket. I'm a pioneer of all the supermarket in this country.
You're a pioneer of so many different businesses, but we're going to take a small break now.
Yes.
So I'm going to play you Jose Chameleon's Jamila.
Okay.
All right now. And we'll be back at Celeb Select with Alhaj Nasser Ntege Sebagala here today. Yeah. Now, you were talking about like how you really got into business. You went to Nairobi, and then you decided to come back after you lost, your wife passed away.
Yes.
And one of the things we know is that you have been a very successful businessman all your life. Yes. Are you retired now?
I'm not retired, because I'm retired for this kind of business, but I'm so much on the stock exchange. I'm invested on there.
Really?
So I'm no longer looking for the business in Uganda, but I'm looking for the business with internationally. Where I think is you can, because I had experience and advantage. I've been traveling a lot, and then I had a lot of ideas. So I see people here, they invested in houses, $1 million and what, and it's a struggle to get their money back. So I think they should change attitude.
Because everyone is, like you said, everyone is building apartments for rentals.
Yeah.
Is
Let me
there?
tell you, a man like him, Murwana, you never find him that he's building go on these buildings because maybe have had ideas in different perspective of how you could invest.
Okay.
People here have been struggling to invest it in Uganda, and then when they see the return, they put a lot of money, and the return is very little. And so that is, I could advise my fellow friends, so that they could able to look in different perspective of internationally how they can able to get their money. So I'm not so much on the business here, but I'm invested a lot on the stock exchange.
Okay.
Yes, which is sometimes you're losing, but the chances of losing is a very minimum.
Really?
Yes,
Because
yeah.
a lot of people think it's also very high risk.
No, it depends where you invest. So, but it's a very good company, so you should be able to put your money, and then you get a good return. It's not as much as the profit as here, because there you can get the biggest maybe profit you can get is 3 to 5%, but it's steady.
It's steady.
Yeah, it's no hassle when you look. If we are such as when people here, they invest their money, and then it's find out tomorrow has been have so much, and then tomorrow it doesn't have anything. So I think is I'm on that line. So, and it doesn't give you much hassle. You don't need to be on the business, but you invest somewhere, and then people they give the dividend. So that's what I'm doing now.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
A lot of people think when it comes to, I mean, you said that when you were in London,
Yes.
you advised that you should come back to Africa and you
Precisely.
can build in Africa.
Yes.
But you find there are very many young people who want to leave.
Yeah, that's the disadvantage really.
They think that they
Yeah,
don't have.
people, you see, we don't inform our people here. Even the leader themselves, they are never been exposed. So this is the biggest problem. Where when I was in UK study, there was a case study how people can manage to improve their standard. I took India, then Pakistan, then Indonesia, but I decided to go to Pakistan.
Okay.
When you look in Pakistan, how much people, the outsiders or the Pakistanis, which they brought to Pakistan, they are more than what the IMF and World Bank give. Why? Because the Pakistanis, when they send their people in UK, they inform them what they're supposed to do. They told them, look, you are going to UK because they've got a capital base, which means capital base means they've got money, which we could not have it. When I'm talking about capital base, Africa, we don't have the capital base. For instance, I could have a building worth about $1 million. I go to the Standard Chartered Bank, I want $2 million, they'll never give me that money because they don't have the capital. So they can say, you want $1 million, $2 million, they say, okay, we can offer you $500,000. That's they're going cheating you. So because your program is for the $2 million, but now somebody offer you $500,000 and then you took it, then you're on the shit. So now, because they don't have the capital base, now if I've got $1 million, I can get $10 million because they can give you just a 10% of $10 million. So you can see they are prepared to give or to lend, but here we don't have that money. In Europe or America, they are looking for the people where they could investors, and that's why they see that's the difference from the lending system here and the lending system in those developed countries. Yes.
You've been very open. You even said earlier on that you've been to prison many times.
Yes.
You've been to prison many times.
Yes.
And I think for some people, they are terrified of that. But you've
Yeah, you should take all the risk. Somebody who never take the risk is not a human being. Yeah, I'm not saying that everybody must have a risk, but if you can have a chance to take a risk, take the risk, and you'll get a very good idea on that risk.
Now, it's interesting that, you're a very successful businessman.
Yes.
Clearly, you're doing well. Then you decided politics.
Yeah.
Why did you?
Uh-huh.
Why?
You see, I was born on the time when African is yearning to get independent. This is because I was born in 1975, 74, 77. Now I'm 70
You are 70,
years.
yes.
70 years. At that time, every politician or every country, they have been looking forward to see that is their country get independence.
Okay.
Then I had a chance, the first instance which had been participated. I don't know, they took over Kabaka, I think it was 1953. When the time of return was 1955. At that time, I was already started to understand the politics. So, being that I was born in town, I had the advantage to be around and to get that figure. So that is at least will be among of those, because those are time when they tell those who have been leader of us, like Musazi, Mdugas, then this is Dr. Kunoka, Daudi Oshe, Milton Obote. Their yearning says that we should get independence. When we get independence, we'll take over everything. So at that young age, you don't know what you are doing. So very well, I remember then the man called Kamia, Agustino Kamia. That was in 1958. He came with the idea with the movement. Said that is, look, every Ugandans should not buy anything from white. That's time which was the Asians, which we call boycott. So I was among of those one who was mobilizing to see people they should not buy from Asians. So says we are monitoring. If you do something bad, then we punished you. Either we burn your house.
Oh my!
That was the game of the day. Yeah. So eventually, at that instance, Ugandans gained, because at that time Yusuf Rule was a minister of the regional government in the British government. They'll direct them to build shops. That's why it's in all the tax park. This is how we managed to achieve that. And then in Kampala Road, they give us 4 shops. Actually, unfortunately, I was so annoyed when they decided to sell those soap for my friend, which now they're putting a parking. Because there we had Ani Aliamanyi soap. We used to have Kayondo shoe shop. We used to have Mukubira, and we used to have another one shop is I think it was the 4 Inigias Ugandan. That was the first people to get a shop in town. And I remember very well, it was a very big news for Ugandagas. They give overdraft to Mukubira about 250,000 Uganda shilling. That was a lot of money.
A lot of money
then.
It
was then. Yes. So there was a headline. So we gain on that. That's why the African, they start to come to have the business in town. Yeah. Now, eventually, we preparing for independence. So our people, they went to London conference, which is Lancaster House, Marylebone House. That was the trend. They negotiated until when we get independence. I had a chance. I was 16 years at that time. They elected me to be the leader of those who are going celebrating Okube Ndulo Chimanyi.
Okay.
Yeah. To see that his Union Jack is going down, then Uganda our flag is coming up. So this was a 19th. So I was lucky. I was there. After 50 years, because I was sitting on the bench where now they put the platform, ordinary person. Then after 50 years, I become a mayor. Then I sit the same place where the governor, Coin there, and the Duke of Kent, where they sat when we get independence. So that time I was the boss. So
Yes. Wow, that's
Yeah.
a history.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
We're going to come back
Yes.
to your story.
Okay.
I'm not going to play you Whitney Houston. I want to dance with somebody.
Sanyu FM, today's best music.
It is 88.2 Sanyu FM, Celeb Select, and I am Crystal, and I'm honored to have Alhaji Nasa Ntege SSEBAGGALA here with me today on the show. A lot of people are thanking you for the business information
Thank you.
that you are giving us. As someone who has been in business for such a long time,
Yes.
when you look at our economy right now,
Yes.
do you think we're on the right path?
You see, we need to work hard to be back onto our track. Uganda, basically, it is agriculture country. When Europeans were here, they planned for us, which is something we could be tangible and could give us a very economical base. We had 4C and 4T. Let me explain to you that one. What is 4C and what is 4T? British, or who have been colonizers, they give us to grow coffee. This is one of the C. We have been the third people, or the third producer of coffee in the whole world.
Yes, the
One was
biggest.
Brazil, Colombia, Uganda was third. We are not consuming that item here, but we are getting a capital base, which is help us to have called the trade balancing. Then we had another C, was cotton. We have been one of the best cotton in the whole world. In Africa, we have been second by Egypt. But in the long thread, Uganda was the best. So when you go to Leeds, where all the coffee dealers, so Uganda was our market, our cotton was one of the best. Then we had
Cocoa?
copper. That's was the third C.
Okay.
Copper, we could not have the train from Mombasa to here, but the British decided to build that train, not because they want Uganda, but because they need our copper. We have been the second in Africa to produce copper, apart from Zambia. Then we have cocoa. That is for another C.
Yes.
All the best Cadbury cocos, and this is who are making cocoa, was our cocoa. Because of aroma. Was not too much productive, but it's because of aroma was one of the best. So those are 4C.
Yes.
Those kind of, we have a trade balance. And that's why even you can argue with other countries. If we go to Japan, we buy Saka kind of says that we buy we buy vehicle from you, and we say we worth about say $400 million. What are you purchasing for us? That's why you see that is agreement when you see the trade balancing. That we should have that trade balancing.
Yes.
Then let us go to tea. We used to have tea. We have been second to Sri Lanka to produce a very good tea. Then we have tobacco. British tobacco and American tobacco, why they put so much emphasis here? Because our tobacco was the best to branding or to branding other tobacco industries in the whole world. That's why I see that is we have the British tobaccos here. And then we have what you call another T, was the tourism. Our tourism was one of the best in Africa. But now when you look at it, we are not yet come on the same level of tourism. Then another 4T was trade. Uganda now depend on only trade. We don't have so much on that area. Let me give you an example. I went to Vietnam. 16 years ago, they did not have any coffee trees at all. Then when I became a mayor, I went there back again.
Yes.
They have been starting to producing 6.5 million bags of coffee, which Uganda, who have been there for a long period, we are just on producing 2.5. Maybe now we are producing 4.5. I'm happy to see that the Uganda government is trying to encourage people to produce coffee. That will be one of the best way. We should at least now producing more than 10 million bags. That we could be able to sustain our economy. Because the reason now, the market of coffee, at that time when the coffee was producing, China was not being seen for the consumer. China has got 1.5 million people. So 1.5 billion, this is a lot of people if we produce and also now they're starting to consume coffee. So the market is very big.
Yes.
So it is a matter of us, the government, to put more money in agriculture because 75% of the people of Uganda, they depend on agriculture. But when you see, if they put only 3% in agriculture, you'll wait for this budget. So I think we need to go change for another track.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes,
Yes.
that makes perfect
Yes.
sense.
Yes.
Now, as a former mayor,
Yes.
managing the city, and
Yes.
now you've seen there've been quite a few changes in Kampala.
Yes.
What is the difference? Are you happy about the developments?
The time when we came to when I was the mayor, we governed it in a different perspective. We have been under the local government,
Yes.
which is been sat at the local government allocate you the money. When I was the mayor, they've been allocated as only $40 million. No, 40 billion.
40 billion.
In ordinary person, when you had about 40 billion, you think it's a lot of money. But I was governing the population of 3.5 million people. So if you divide it, it is a very little money. But it helped me. That's why people maybe say that they are annoyed with me. I decided to say that to work together with the government. So that's why I went to the World Bank. I get $130 million to see that we can able to reconstruct our roads. And I went to the East African Development Bank, where I get $140 million to manage to put about 6 not supermarket, but is a market. And also we went to China. I get $120 million from Exim Bank to build 4 hospitals, as well as Naguru, Chirudu, Kawempe. Another one which has not been built, it is Kawala. I went to European Union. I get always I get about 9.5 million euros. This is for improving slums. One is Katwe, another in Kisenyi, another is Mombasa. That's why there's now a lot of changes in Kisenyi. What we put there is the lighting and then the infrastructure of the roads and water. So now the people they're building that themselves. So that's why we are trying to make that with Kampala. But in sense of when you look at this, and then the administration at that time was different. We had about 4 divisions. Or 5 divisions. Everybody has got mayor. So but sub-collocating the money, were not being used in proper perspective. But now it is the money in central. So that is could have a lot of responsibility. And at the same time, they change the law. It is they are on the authority. They can plan and then demand money, which was not different from us. So that was a different. And let me tell you, I'm appreciating, when you look at the city, there's a lot of improvement in infrastructures. When you look at it, their cleanness, pavers now, I think you could like it. Although, as far as concerned, the money which I give allocate to the state council, it is still too low. It's still too low. Because we had a problem. People are talking about Kampala city. People, they don't know originality. What was the city? The city, which is everybody knows, was from the Bakuli, come to the clock tower, go to Nsambia police station, then go to Mbuya, come back to Kamocha, then come to Mulago, take Mulago, don't take Katanga, then take Makerere back to... That was 310 square meters of square miles of the road, which was already well prepared. the shower, the sewage and everything. That was well planned.
Okay.
Then on the crisis of 1966, now that government at that day, they changed Kampala to become bigger. The place which had been controlled by Mengo municipality was being taken over by Kampala, but was rural, not a city.
Okay, yes.
So that's why I see that is people, we still have a problem. Take Makindye, take Nakawa, part of Nakawa.
Well, unfortunately, we're almost out of time.
Yes.
Such a pleasure having you on the show. One of the things that you used to be told a lot, and you even talked about, was
Yes.
you used to be called a ladies' man.
No.
Long time ago.
No, but let me tell you one thing. You could have decided. I had experience. All my men friends, they are not productive. They are jealousies. When you go for the woman, always they sympathize with you. So you decided to go either to go with the men with their jealousies, or you go with So people take emphasis. The instance say that I think you are so much on side of the no, but they are friends. Yes, you decide whether to be on the other side or to be on the other side. Actually, let me tell you, when I was being elected the mayor, 75% of women they give me vote. 25%. So should I go for the other side?
Good point. Now, earlier on, you were saying that now you're the head of the family.
Yes.
And you're making decisions for at least 20
20
families.
families, yes. Because
That's
most
quite-
of our parents passed away. So I'm among of the, I'm elder. So I'm heading for more than 20 families. So that is always, I'm there as elders to solve problems. Asika, this is the problem, they're fighting for the property, this and that. And to be there. So this is, so I'm that category now.
So I guess you said you're not really retired. So what do you do with your time now?
Don't forget, I'm a senior president advisor for the investors. I travel a lot
Okay.
to persuading those who want to invest in Uganda. Yeah, to go to America, to go to Europe, different areas, to persuading. And thank God, we see we have people, they could say, we have investment authority. What are you doing? These so-called have money, they want one-to-one. Because this kind of document, investment authority, they're everywhere.
Yes.
But who was serious, you need to go there and tell them, persuade them. And so make a decision, what could happen. They give you one-to-one. That's what it is. I think that's the area. It helps us a lot to searching for the good investors.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
I'd just like to ask you for
Yes.
your advice
Yes.
to a lot of young people
Yes.
who are also trying to work, build a business. Well, what's your advice? What have you learned? Because you are 70 years old now, your
Yes.
children are grown, you're
Yes.
enjoying your grandchildren,
Yes.
and you have a lot of experience. What should we know?
Yeah, the problem is a guidance. We still have a problem here. We should change our attitude, especially in education. We should transfer ourselves from the, so we stop the what you call white collar job. Then we go to the blue collar job. Those are tangible. In a country which could be developed, we must just not go for university alone. We should have as a training to be at least is a tangible area. We are lacking two things, innovators and inventors. If your country doesn't have such a kind of people, then it never grow. We've been in independence for more than 53 years. We cannot produce our own medicine. We have a lot of doctors. We cannot even produce our needle. We have a lot of engineers. So that is the problem which we are here facing. So I'm persuading, I've been discussing this, I've been giving this idea for a long time. Let us change our attitude of our education. Let us go for what you call the self-invocation, which is called a blue collar job, collar side, rather than be on a white collar side.
Okay.
So if we achieve that, then Uganda, And I think who's supposed to do that is the government. For instance, if you want to achieve that, those who are intangible when they're teachers, give them more salaries. Say that is somebody who will be professional in this will be 2 million. Actually, they'll change themselves because they are looking for the good pasture. So that automatically we see that is those who have been working on that area, give them good salaries. In the end of the day, we produce, not even for Uganda, but we can produce a tangible people who will go outside and they get more money. Rather than now, we have a lot of people who have been have a degrees, they go to European countries, and they become those who are the waiters, or maybe they're working the old elders, and they are cleaning toilets. When you look on this, people from Yugoslavia who have got tangibles, they don't have much education as Ugandans, but when you look on the salary, they are very good. Yes, yes.
Now,
so let us encourage Ugandans and the Uganda government to change our attitude. And also let us request young generation.
yes.
They don't look on this. People here, they don't want to do odd jobs. They think this is. But me, I was very successful. I was in market.
Yes.
I told you that I started getting my money when I was very, very young. Since then, I've been doing very well.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I just remembered that, earlier on when I played you a Chameleon song, you said, oh, you remember Chameleon from Nairobi.
Oh, yes, yes.
And that
Chameleon is one of the very strong, been struggling for a long time. To be there is not there by mistake. I met him when he came to Nairobi. He was a group of the singers of Jaluos. And since then, I think has got more experience because exposures. Yeah, people, they thought they should try to move as much as you can. That's why you can able to get your exposures. That's why I see Chameleon is being elected by all East African. Go to Tanzania, people will be there. Go to Rwanda, because he understands the language of those areas.
Yes.
You see, that's why they're achieving that goal. And it will take a long time to move from him, because people here, we have essence of we don't want to learn other language. So, but today you see Nigerians, they're doing very well because they're trying to mix in their music with the different languages.
Yes, yes.
So when you go on that line, I think is at the same time, Chameleon is I like him because he's not this person whose song only one word, he make it as a song, which is been seen for young generation. The only one word, he take over the whole song. So, but Chameleon is, if you listen, if you understand, especially in Swahili, he follow the history. If you go for the poverty, he go what happened for the poverty, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Yes.
You have a smartphone. I was wondering, are you on social media? Have you ever tried?
Let me tell you one thing. I buy that smartphone because of my kids. But I'm not so eager to be send taxes and what is no. But it's because they told me that, Daddy, we need to meet, connected you every time. I say, okay. Actually, they buy me every year. They give me a new type of the service.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, but I'm not so keen. Yeah, my age is not, because what I'm doing, I don't need too much of those social media.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yes.
A pleasure talking to you today.
Thank you.
This last song is Juliana.
Okay.
Diana, I'm playing it for you.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you.